This man admitted he'd been involved in the girl's abduction and had held her while he said this man molested her. Neither was arrested. Both are walking the streets.
Kermit? Hi, how are you? I'm Morley Safer from CBS. Did you ever molest children?
No. Yes, I did too. I got picked up in Nebraska. I had a kid back there, he was 16 years old.
You were picked up by police in Nebraska?
I went to jail for a year. We got to do this on the street. Jesus.
Bertha Mae Kitt was born 60-something years ago. She says 60-something because her birth was never recorded. Her mother was 14 years old, half black, half Cherokee. Her father, she was told, was the son of the local white plantation owner. Hardly the background of an old-fashioned girl.
I'm just an old-fashioned girl with an old-fashioned mind.
Now that the summit is over, a conversation with top Soviet spokesman Gennady Gerasimov from Malta. Gorbachev and Reagan had a fine chemistry. They were warm with each other. Apparently, they liked each other. What about Bush and Gorbachev? Bush is a different man.
You mean that they are good friends or they are just bosom brothers? This is not the case. This is not the case. They are leaders of two big powers, and I guess we can say that this non-summit summit, as President Bush called it, this meeting, this non-summit summit, put the Cold War deep down to the bottom of Mediterranean Sea.
I'm Mike Wallace.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Harry Reasoner.
I'm Ed Bradley. Those stories and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
Well, we can never agree on a restaurant, right?
Hey, I ordered already. I found us a great wine.
Oh, a decision maker.
Oh, this is wonderful wine. I had this at David's.
I served this at my place. It was a big hit.
You guys, I was hoping you hadn't tried it yet.
Oh, come on. Look, we finally found something we all agree on, you know? I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Ernest and Julio Gallo invite you to try White Grenache. It will change the way you think about Gallo.
Deja vu.
You just bought that.
Somebody stole it.
I set down the package to help Megan, and when I turned around, it was gone.
Is it gone, Daddy?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Didn't you use American Express?
You mean that's it? It's automatic?
Whatever you buy with the American Express card is covered, Mr. Wilcox. Even gifts.
Oh, we were counting on that.
Lost, stolen, or damaged, having a way to protect the things you buy.
A new Lincoln Town Car for the 1990s has arrived. Dramatically different. A powerful V8 and more room than any other luxury car.
Your Lincoln Town Car, sir.
Lincoln, now more than ever, what a luxury car should be. When 9-year-old Jill Cutchell disappeared from her home in Norfolk, Nebraska 2.5 years ago, it set off the largest manhunt in the state's history. Local police, state troopers, the FBI worked thousands of hours interviewing hundreds of people and still had no leads.
See if we can't do something else for you then.
Then this private investigator, who'd become obsessed with the case, got a confession. This man admitted he'd been involved in the girl's abduction and had held her while he said this man molested her. Neither was arrested. Both are walking the streets. Norfolk, Nebraska is best known as Johnny Carson's hometown. Beyond that, it's a sleepy place in the middle of cornfields and cow pastures. A nice place to grow up. A nice place for kids. Jill Cutchell was one of the kids growing up in Norfolk. This home movie of her was made a year before she disappeared. Though her parents were divorced, she seemed a perfectly happy little girl. It was the summer of '87. 9-year-old Jill Cutchell was spending the summer holiday with her father and her stepmother in this basement apartment of this building called McNeely House. The routine was this. The Cutchells would leave for work about 6 a.m., Jill would do the dishes, and then walk the 4.5 blocks to a babysitter's where she would spend the day. August 13th was typical. The Cutchells left for work about 6 a.m.,
Jill did her chores and then apparently left the house and was never seen again. A massive search was organized, the FBI was brought in, but nothing. Not a trace of her was found.
But 3 months later, at a remote area called Wood Duck, police got their first break. A hunter in this wildlife preserve stumbled across the clothes she was wearing the day she vanished. Purple shirt, white sneakers, blue jeans, and her underwear. The police again launched a massive search. The FBI was brought in. They brought in special dogs trained to find bodies, but nothing was found. At this point, the police had interviewed 600 people and still did not have a lead. 4 months later, 7 months after Jill disappeared, the Norfolk police started questioning Kermit Crumroy Baumgartner, a 61-year-old man, twice divorced, with 9 children. He was living on the second floor of Jill's apartment house at the time Jill disappeared. The investigation of Kermit soon led police to David Phelps, a 24-year-old who'd briefly shared Kermit's apartment. They were lovers. Both men had a history of child molestation. David's sister, Gail Peterson, told police about her brother's problem, specifically about one incident in Arkansas.
David was sent down to live with me when I was down there, and I lived with a girl who had a 4-year-old daughter. And sometime during the night, he crawled into bed with her, and the little girl told her mother the next day, and then they came and told me about it.
Did you confront him?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
He didn't deny it. The only thing he had to say was he did it because he wanted to feel good.
How old was he then?
16.
Gail was concerned that her brother might be involved in Jill's disappearance. The police investigation seemed to be going nowhere. So she voiced her concerns to Jill's mother, Joyce Cutchell.
What did you do with that information?
I called my investigator, my private investigator.
It was Roy Stevens.
Roy Stevens.
Roy Stevens, a private investigator who specializes in missing children, entered the case 5 days after Jill disappeared. He admits he became obsessed with it, worked without salary. When he questioned David Phelps, Phelps implicated Kermit, but offered nothing concrete. On January 4th, 1989, a year and a half after Jill disappeared, Stevens tried to bring the case to a head. He took Phelps out to Wood Duck, to a spot near where Jill's clothing was found. After an hour and a half of wandering around, Stevens says, Phelps began to break.
And he said, Roy, he goes, it's time to get this off my chest. I need to start telling you what happened.
Stevens says that David Phelps then confessed that he was involved in Jill's disappearance. Stevens took him to the Econo Lodge Motel in Norfolk, to room 115, where a local television crew was waiting. Phelps confessed again, this time on camera. He told Marcia Cady from Channel 3 Omaha that on the day Jill disappeared, he and Jill got into a car with Kermit, who drove them out to Wood Duck.
Jill got really nervous and everything. Kermit got her out of the car. He put his left hand over her mouth and shoved her backwards. And Kermit kept his hand on her mouth, started fondling her and stuff. I got real nervous and I says, hey, let's get the hell out of here, you know. And Kermit says, well, you take the car and you go back town, I'll get back later. And I left.
You didn't molest Jill?
I became very aroused when she was standing against me. The temptation was there, but I was more scared. I just wanted to get out of there.
You never touched her sexually?
No.
Who took her clothes off?
Kermit's the one that got her pants off.
Roy Stevens, the private investigator, was present during the Channel 3 taping and felt moved to ask David,
Have I or anybody else threatened you by not making these comments?
No.
Police then picked up Phelps and brought him in for questioning.
He again repeated almost verbatim the exact same story that he gave to me. Only he went further in making the statement that Jill was not supposed to die, that it was an accident.
But when David Phelps' attorney showed up, he recanted the confession. Norfolk Police Chief Bill Meisner and County Attorney Richard Crepola felt that without Jill's body, they had no case.
He claimed that he had been under duress and that everything that he had said because because of that duress.
Police released him that night and have not spoken to him since. But the next day, Phelps' sister, Gail, went to talk to him. She was furious and raised her hand as if to strike him.
I said, "You little son of a bitch, after everything we've been through, and you say you're not going to talk to me." And he looked at me and said he was going to have me arrested for assault. And I said, "Fine, you go right ahead. That sounds real good coming out of a rapist and a murderer."
That's what you said?
That's what I said.
What did he say?
He looked at me and he had very cold eyes, very dead eyes, and he said, "I did not confess to rape and murder. I confessed to kidnapping and molestation."
Channel 3 broadcast a brief excerpt of the confession, but did not name Phelps and disguised his face and his voice. A few days later, David Phelps left Norfolk, Nebraska. Kermit Baumgarten stayed a week or so longer, then he too left town. David, who got married and had a baby daughter, kept moving around. Close friends and family did not know their whereabouts. We managed to trace them to a cheap motel in Southern California.
Hi, David? David Phelps?
Who are you?
I'm Morley Safer, CBS, 60 Minutes.
So?
I would like to talk to you.
About what?
I think you know what we want to talk about. I'd like to clear the air on this thing, on the whole thing. You know.
I think what you need to do, if you want to talk to anybody, is you go talk to David Domina in Norfolk first.
Who's that?
My attorney, David Domina, out of Norfolk, Nebraska.
Hi, you Kim? Yeah. Hi, Kim. How are you? David? David?
We brought David's sister Gail along, hoping she could convince him to talk.
David, let me talk to you a minute.
After a few minutes, David agreed to talk to Gail, and a few minutes later came out again, obviously upset that we'd found him. In his confession, he'd said that he and Kermit had been drinking heavily the night before Jill disappeared. But here, he said he was sober. His own lawyer confirms the first version.
The circumstantial evidence here is this. This is a young man who was in the wrong place, using alcohol at the wrong time, who has a criminal record, who is himself of limited capacity.
David Domina is David Phelps' attorney. Domina is one of Nebraska's most prominent lawyers. He agreed to be interviewed only after we showed him Phelps' entire confession.
What he didn't say on the tape and what his behavior suggested was, I think that there may have been fear and intimidation involved.
You have endangered my life because of Stevens. He has threatened me more than once to kill me.
Threatened you? Really?
Including the day we talked.
Why did you sit down and talk to him?
That's, like I said, I'm not going any further than that, but you've now endangered my safety and my family.
Roy Stevens continued to deny any threat had been made. But quite suddenly, he made a remarkable confession to us. For the first time, he admitted he'd become so frustrated with lack of progress that he pulled a gun that day out at Wood Duck and fired a shot in the air.
He immediately turned around and looked at me, and I still was holding the gun straight up in the air. I then brought it down and put it away. His very first statement after that was going to have a cigarette.
In making the admission that he'd threatened Phelps with a gun, Stevens also admitted his own criminal record, a burglary he'd committed 13 years before. As a convicted felon, he could not be licensed as a private investigator, so he lied on his application.
In going after him so hard, now, ultimately, you paid a very heavy price, right?
It cost me my career. But it's a small price to pay. I was a private investigator up until yesterday. I turned my license in.
Why did you pull the gun? Didn't you know that act could make anything that he then said subsequently invalid as evidence?
I'm not so sure it makes it totally invalid. I'm not a cop. I'm just an ordinary citizen.
Because Stevens threatened Phelps, it may well be that Phelps did concoct a confession to get away from Stevens. Except for one quite chilling part of that confession. Though police had never issued a description of Jill's underwear, Phelps was able to describe it.
If I remember right, like white underwear, and they had these little, I think, circular designs on them, like little swirls and stuff on them.
Was that considered to you at the time as a break in the case?
It was looked at.
It's a very bureaucratic answer.
Well,
What'd you think?
It's something we looked at. It's not something that we passed over. It's not something that we missed. That was part of our consideration in conducting our follow-up investigation.
That included a brief questioning of Kermit Baumgartner last January, but police have not talked to him since. We found him living in the Star Hotel, a boarding house in Northern California.
Kermit? Hi, how are you? I'm Morley Safer from CBS. I want to talk to you about Norfolk. And David Phelps. And what you may remember about Jill Cutchell.
Yeah?
What happened?
I don't know, because I was involved in it. No way with her.
Do you think David assaulted her?
I don't know.
Do you have a record for molesting children?
No, not that I know of.
Did you ever molest children?
No. Yes, I did too. I got picked up in Nebraska. I had a kid back there. He was 16 years old.
You were picked up by police in Nebraska?
I went to jail for a year. We got to do this on the street.
You want to go up and do it, too?
No, I don't want to go to my room. The landlord will throw me out.
Uh-huh. You ever been to Wood Duck?
Not to the best of my knowledge, no.
Ever?
I think he had a friend one time, and with his other friend's car. We drove someplace out that way, but never with my car.
You molested your own kids, didn't you?
I didn't, but that's what they tried. That's what the old lady, ex-old lady, tried to prove.
Your former wife?
Yeah.
Well, the kids say that you did.
I did not.
Did you ever talk about little girls? You and David?
One time. That's what I told that private investigator.
Yeah?
But, I told him what David Phelps told me that one day. He said, I like to get in her pants, is what he told me.
Talking about Jill?
That's what he told me.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom of why. Why Phelps would make up such a story about you.
I think he tried to cover his own tracks, is what I think.
Chief Miser, what's the status of the Jill Cutchell case now?
Right now, we are in what we term to be a semi-active status, and we're waiting to see if there's any new leads that come in.
Phelps says he's been made into a scapegoat because of 2 felonies on his record and other incidents involving children.
You were talking about molestation, right?
Well,
there were incidents in your past.
Right. You can take him out and put a bullet between his eyes. He's hurt a lot of children that he's confessed to. I just don't believe society has any use for people like that.
There's no affection left?
For my brother, yes, but for the person who did this, no. My brother's dead. The human being that was in there is dead. And now, when he looked at me with those eyes that were just blank behind there, then I think that's when he died.
He should not be on the street. He has hurt 3 other girls, 4 counting Jill. He has a baby girl at home now. He may not have to go on the street to look for a little child. You got a 2-year-old baby girl at home. That scares the hell out of me.
Are you convinced in your own heart that he's not involved?
I'm convinced in my own heart that he is not guilty of any crime.
That wasn't the question.
That's the answer.
For those hardy souls who brave the elements in search of the perfect tree, McDonald's has a treat just for you. For a short time, we're serving holiday chicken McNuggets with a festive orange sauce. There are also thick, rich eggnog milkshakes and cool peppermint sundaes. They're just our way of wishing you a joyous season.
Your holiday place, McDonald's.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. Oh, look at the... Oh, not the dog, too.
The new Olympus Infinity Zoom 200. The zoom camera that significantly reduces red eye.
To make wrenching fast and easy, you can either do this or get this, the Skill Wrench Cordless Power Wrench. It's revolutionary.
A detective the best on the force has trouble when finding a corpse and an innocent man, a devious plan. It's a mystery on Murder, She Wrote.
Now there is a man to be reckoned with.
Then, it is estimated there are 3 million homeless people in America. This is one family story.
I have worked in that plant for 12 years.
For Mike and Zan Cooper, the American dream has crumbled.
I can get us out of this. Just have a little bit of faith.
Alone, theirs is a family torn apart. Christine Lottie, Jeff Daniels, No Place Like Home, tonight.
It's not a fairy tale anymore.
If you were around in the 50s, you'll remember her. If you weren't, well, Eartha Kitt is still here. And after a life blessed with a good deal of fame, but cursed with even more misfortune, neither the lady nor the voice have changed much. Eartha Mae Kitt was born 60-something years ago. She says 60-something because her birth was never recorded. Her mother was 14 years old, half black, half Cherokee. Her father, she was told, was the son of the local white plantation owner. Hardly the background of an old-fashioned girl.
I'm just an old-fashioned girl with an old-fashioned mind. Not sophisticated, I'm the sweet and simple kind. I want an old-fashioned house with an old-fashioned fence and an old-fashioned little young man.
In a one-woman show in London earlier this year, Eartha was still looking for that old-fashioned millionaire. But she says that self-confident and glamorous woman we've seen on stage for nearly 40 years has all been make-believe.
You have no idea what I really am like. That little rejected urchin, the cotton picker in the South. That's why it's so funny. Because I can get all dressed up with the eyelashes and the nails and the whole thing and go out and be this wonderful, what I think is that character. And all of that audience, nobody goes home with me. I go home alone.
And when she goes home, Eartha says she's still Eartha Mae, the child who was born in the cotton fields of South Carolina. A child so rejected that even today, the approval of an audience can reduce her to tears.
Eartha Mae never wants to be seen. She hides constantly.
What's she like?
She's a very hurt person. And she's trying to say, I don't want to be hurt anymore.
Hurt because of her childhood?
Hurt because her mother gave her away. Hurt because everybody gave her away. She's hurt because she's an illegitimate child. She's a bastard. She's mixed bloods. She's illegitimate everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 5-minute call.
Whatever you do, don't change my color.
Neither black nor white, she was rejected by everyone, including her mother, who had to choose between keeping Eartha or the man she wanted to marry.
I heard that discussion. My mother was on her knees. in front of that fireplace, begging this man to take her children. I have a half-sister, and my half-sister's much darker than I am, but he said, I will take Anna Pearl. I don't want Eartha May. I do not want that yellow gal in my house.
Will you ever get over those early years?
Of being given away? No. No, you'll never get over that. Never. I like what I do. I like what I see. But where is the schoolgirl that used to be me?
Abandoned by her mother to a foster family that abused her, Eartha was rescued by an aunt and ended up in Harlem. After working as a seamstress in a factory, she won a scholarship to the Catherine Dunham Dance Company and toured Europe with the troupe. But she soon decided to go it alone. And in the nightclubs of Paris, Eartha Kitt, sultry, cat-like, half purred, half growled her way into the limelight.
Si bon de gaieté dans ses yeux, une esprit merveilleux qui donnait la puissance. C'est si bon, cette petite sensation, ça vaut mieux qu'un million. C'est tellement, tellement bon. C'est bon. Voilà.
In Paris, Eartha caught the eye of Orson Welles, who cast her as Helen of Troy in his production of Dr. Faustus. She called him Mr. Wells and says the relationship was just platonic. He called her the most exciting woman in the world. That label stuck. Back in the States, Eartha appeared in the Broadway revue New Faces. She made movies with Sammy Davis Jr. and Nat King Cole. And she received top billing in the nightclubs of New York and Las Vegas. But being the most exciting woman in the world didn't help her when it came to love.
Serious romance in your life?
The serious Arthur Lowe. I've never gotten over it.
Arthur Lowe Jr. came from the family that founded MGM Studios. Eartha says the relationship was doomed by his mother's interference.
The two of you didn't get along?
I didn't know her. It was a thought of two different races of bloods being intermingled. There's a lot of money involved. So?
And he accepted that?
I think he had to. He's the only son, and he's the only one who's going to pass on the inheritance. Through his name. And that money line has got to go in one direction. At least that's the way it was, what, 30 years ago? Maybe there's a little bit more leniency in that area now, but not at that time.
So that was another rejection, again, because of your color.
Yep. If at last our life on earth is through, I will spend eternity with you. If you love me, really love me, then whatever happens, I won't care.
Eartha eventually married a white American whose family accepted her. The marriage didn't last, but it gave her something that did last. Her daughter, Kit, who is now 27 years old.
My baby. Yes.
And she's very important.
Most important thing in the world. More important than anything.
Her daughter, Kit, went everywhere as Eartha continued to work. In the 60s, record albums and nightclub appearances earned her over $1 million a year. Then, in 1968, through her work for a black youth organization, she was invited to the White House by Lady Bird Johnson. What was planned as a formal ladies' luncheon ended with the president's wife near tears as Eartha launched into an outburst against the Vietnam War.
What you said to Mrs. Johnson upset her very much. How do you feel about that?
What I said to Mrs. Johnson upset her? I don't know why it should upset her. I was telling her the truth.
It was a performance from which her career never fully recovered. Years later, it was revealed that President Johnson had ordered the FBI and CIA to investigate her. Finding nothing subversive in her background, they resorted to a smear campaign.
Sex nymphomaniac. Even if I was, what has that got to do with overthrowing the government?
Actually, I think it was a sadistic nymphomaniac.
Whatever. I just thought it was hysterically funny. But there's nothing to laugh at when you realize that your government has bothered to spend our tax money to find out such idiot kind of information. For what reason?
You say the FBI went out, the CIA went out. How did you lose business?
Because they go to the venues. They go to the theaters of people whom you have worked for. Once they start asking questions from the management or from the personnel of these places, you're out of work, because who wants to be bothered with the CIA on their doorsteps? You're out of business.
What did speaking up cost you?
11 years out of work in America. Out of sight, out of mind.
Though she kept a home in the States, Eartha survived those years by going abroad to anywhere she could find work. And now in London, she's found a new lease on life. For the first time in years, she's recording a new album. And her one-woman show was a sellout.
St. Louis woman with a diamond ring.
You can still dance on stage with a bunch of young guys and show a lot of leg and pull it off.
Why not? I'm enjoying it tremendously.
And so is the audience.
This is my third time, and it's just amazing.
Her following includes not just the fans of the 50s, but a new generation which keeps her in the manner to which she was once accustomed.
One of my favorite meals happens to be steak au poivre, salad d'endive, beluga caviar, and Dom Perignon champagne. Thanks to you, I can afford it now.
Us girls who have passed 40, 50, 60, something or other, you see, you can really still be just as important as the kids think they are. Because we have the knowledge. All we want to do is pass it on. And you've gotten prettier since I saw you last, my dear little one.
I take after my mother.
And at 60-something, Eartha has another reason not to give it all up. Her daughter, Kit, who spent most of her life on the road with her mother, has just married.
So where's your husband, Charles?
I think I lost him.
Mr. Shapiro.
I think he's on the stage.
How are you?
Great, thanks. How are you?
And whoever invented that old cliche about not losing a daughter but gaining a son hadn't met Eartha.
The day after the wedding, I went home. I didn't have to be back to work for about a week or two. And I was like crying your beer. I was walking in limbo around my grounds, as though I was nobody. I was empty, completely empty.
I have the feeling that not having your daughter around still hurts. You feel like, once again, you're all by yourself.
I was given away. That's the way I really feel. I was given away again.
When I was young, I never needed anyone. And making love was just for fun. Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. But when I dial the telephone, nobody's home. All by myself, don't want to be. All by myself anymore. All by
What's your future? What does the future hold for you
I don't know. I will probably go on being whom I am as best I can. The personality that's on the stage. And survive as best I can.
And survive Eartha Kitt will, as long as there's an audience out there waiting for her.
Écoute-moi bien, c'est tentant. Écoute-moi bien, c'est tentant. Et t'en pas aller me voir danser la Charleston pendant 30 ans. I cannot guide you.
Did you know if you're an MCI, Execunet, or a Sprint Dial 1 customer and your business spends over $50 a month, you could be in the wrong plan. You can save money with the new AT&T Pro Watts, and we're going to make it easy. We're so sure that you'll see the difference. We'll pay to sign you up, we'll pay to switch you over, and if you're not satisfied within 90 days, we'll even pay to switch you back. All you have to do is call us, 1-800-222-0400. New AT&T Pro Watts, another AT&T advantage.
No television delivers the big picture quite like RCA. With features so advanced, you can watch TV in ways you never thought possible. With viewing and listening experiences that are quite overwhelming.
Got it!
After all, if we didn't push technology to new heights, we'd never be able to face the world's toughest critics day after day. RCA, #1 with the toughest critics in the world.
60 Minutes, a CBS News weekly magazine, will continue.
Monday, boxer shorts are in, but the majors put out.
I can use those guys to buff the car.
Or your head. It's a boxer rebellion.
Far out.
Right on, Major Dan. Then can Teddy Z's family teach an arrogant actor to
be real, be Greek
in just 1 week? Or will Al freak?
Oh, they.
Monday.
This is CBS.
Christmas always brings a lot of happy thoughts to mind. Everything from Christmas decorating to Christmas shopping. And when you think of the most fun place to do your Christmas shopping, you think of Crown Center. All the shops, all the merry people, all the fun, all in one place, day and night, all the way till Christmas. Of course, after you've shopped for everyone else, you may want to start thinking about what you'd like for Christmas. Christmas at Crown Center. Oh, what fun it is.
These days, it's not unusual to see farmers back in school.
This place sure looks a lot smaller.
Maybe you just got a lot bigger.
They're learning how to apply crop protection chemicals in the safest ways possible.
Remember when the coach made us all get crew cuts? Right before the prom.
Some things may have changed since these farmers were in the classroom, but learning to protect the environment is something they know will never go out of style.
I suppose you're going to want to borrow my nose again.
Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of Dual Herbicide.
Mike Thompson making a difference for Kansas City on Kansas City's News.
Anyone with a television set knows by now that the Bush-Gorbachev summit, or as the president labeled it, the non-summit, ended this morning with both men apparently pleased as punch about what they had accomplished. But what about the men behind the scenes, their advisors and their so-called spin doctors? What did they think? Gennady Gerasimov is the top Soviet spokesman. Not long after the two leaders concluded their meetings, he sat down in Malta and via satellite, he talked with us about the summit with the president, about the summit with the Pope, and about suggestions that godless communism in Eastern Europe is dying.
The information about the death of communism is a little bit premature, to paraphrase Mark Twain. But Christians and communists had their discussions and dialogue for many years already. It's not something new, because Christian values, in many ways, and are the same. Especially early Christian values are the same as communist values. But just as Christian values were corrupted and the church had even this inquisition crimes and witch hunting, the same happened, unfortunately, with communist idea, which was also corrupted, and we had Stalin crimes. So actually we are returning to our original ideas, which are not very bad and are not in a very big conflict with your ideas.
Do you know of the Reverend Billy Graham? You know who he is?
Yes, I guess he was in our country too.
Yes, now he...
I know that he's still going on.
The reason
active.
The reason I ask is that he is trying to rent Lenin Stadium, I am told, for a public crusade in Moscow. What do you think are his chances of getting Lenin Stadium for this crusade?
Well, it depends on the price they will ask.
It's just money.
Oh, sure, why not? We have preachers now, even on our television we have preachers these days.
I understand. On Sunday nights. Look, in a Soviet poll, and I'm sure you're aware of this, almost 60% of the adults surveyed said they had no confidence in the future in your country. Only 20% said that they had confidence. Now that speaks to something that is wrong with your system, sir.
Well, I don't know about the figures, but of course something is wrong with our system. We know that, and perestroika is to put our system right. And it is up to the young people to change our society. You see, the so-called generation of the 20th Congress, the generation of Gorbachev, my generation, which is now in power, and which waited for this power for too long in the wings, we are not forever. So we stress that it's for the young people to build a better future.
And we hear that the young people, many of them are very dismayed by what is going on, that they do not feel, we hear, part of the system, that it's difficult to get people to go into your army.
That's why we are in the process of change. Our society is changing all the time.
Everybody is saying, at a minimum, Mikhail Gorbachev's program of glasnost and perestroika may collapse if the downward spiral is not halted by the end of 1990. You've heard it. We've heard it over and over.
What do you mean, this downward spiral?
Look,
the economics?
Absolutely. You know that food and meat and fuel and even soap are in short supply, apparently economically. And I was in your country just 10 days, 2 weeks ago, and have been there a couple of 3 times during the past year. Things are bad in the Soviet Union economically. There's simply no doubt about it. And the winter ahead is supposed to be possible disaster.
I am not the one to argue that things are bad. Everybody is grumbling, including my wife, that things are bad. But it's up to us, you see. One of the reasons why they are bad is that for so many years we expected people from above to bring us the fruits of our existence, so to say. And now people are learning that it's up to themselves to help themselves.
What do you mean it's up to themselves? What can they do?
Because President Gorbachev said, we are going to live at the level at which we are working. If we work less, then we are going to live worse. If we work better, more effectively, then we will live better.
Francois Mitterrand of France says, if Mr. Gorbachev were to fail, nothing can guarantee that a new Soviet power, which might not be communist, wouldn't still be military and totalitarian. Possible?
I don't think so, because we are now in the process of building a society based on law. These laws are reforming our society, and it's extremely difficult to imagine, just impossible to imagine, how you can change things backward.
I guess what he is saying is that economic failure in the Soviet Union, which in the final analysis is the bottom line, understandably for your people, could give way to tyranny.
No, I don't think so, because tyranny may be only from the military, but the military, we are now cutting the military in size, and historically the military were never very close to the seat of power. Our military were always in the back seat, not in the driver's seat. And our system is such that it's very difficult. a military coup, no.
Mr. Gerasimov, I don't expect you to defect on television like Nadia Comaneci, but with your knowledge and understanding of the West, with all of its shortcomings, all its failings, are you never tempted to speculate that the Soviet Union might do better as a capitalist country?
Oh, I don't know, simply, because I take my country just as it is. Well, I was always wondering if it's the right position, my country, right or wrong. I want to right my country from its wrongs, so to say. But of course I'm a patriot and I belong to my country, and I think that we have a very big potential. Actually, we have a very vast country, vast resources, very talented people actually. We have a lot of ideas. We are selling ideas to the West. We don't know how to put these ideas into practical things.
Are you really satisfied that communism has, over a period of the last 3/4 of a century now, fulfilled itself?
Of course not. This is the tragedy of our generation, because the ideas we thought were true, and we still think are true, in practice they didn't work. It doesn't mean that we must not try again. Well, you may argue that we are going to fail, but let's see. Let's wait several years and see what's going to happen. Because theoretically, at least, socialism really opens up humans' potential. But we must put this very beautiful theory into action.
What do you want from America? What do you want from the United States?
We want the United States to understand that we are a good neighbor, that we want cooperation.
Do you want economic aid from the United States to help with your economic problems?
We do have economic problems, but we understand also that it's our problems which must be solved by ourselves. So we do not expect any economic aid from your country or from any other country, but we do expect some advice and economic cooperation. For instance, we can accept aid in terms of teaching us the terms of the game, so the rules of the game, so to say, the management and other things. But of course we cannot rely on you in terms of economic aid. We must do it ourselves.
What's happened this past year? Why is all of this happening now? Is it Gorbachev? Is it Reagan's tough stand which helped bring Gorbachev to the table, so to speak?
That's a new thought for me, that Reagan had anything to do with Gorbachev's appearance. Of course not. Our society was ripe for change, and it was ripe long before Reagan even came to power or just began his military buildup. This is actually the demand of our society, because our society was ripe with change. We couldn't go on like this because we felt we were behind the world in terms of scientific technical revolution, because of this bureaucracy which almost killed us. Our bureaucracy, we call it administrative bureaucratic system. So this was the main reason, the internal reason for change. And then Gorbachev came, and he is a symbol of change in our society. And if he did not appear, he must have been invented.
Is there anything that you'd like to say that I haven't asked you before we let you off the satellite?
Well, I guess that this meeting at Malta may go down in history as a really historical moment when the two big great powers decided that they are enemies no more.
You think this is somehow historic?
It was a quiet summit on the Rough Sea. The Rough Sea prevented both presidents to visit their own naval vessels, which also proves that we don't need navies anymore, at least to that extent that we have them.
You say that you don't need navies anymore, but you did not persuade that old sailor George Bush of that.
Not yet.
A little closer. A little closer. Wait. Okay, a little bit more. Just closer. Back.
When you're taking pictures, it's not always convenient to move the subject. That's why Nikon's incredibly compact, fully automatic Zoom Touch 500 zooms from 35mm wide-angle shots to 80mm close-ups. So unlike with some cameras, you won't have to move an inch. With Nikon Zoom Touch 500, you're never far from a great picture.
You told me you'd meet me at the station gate. Oh, the honeymoon excursion. You told me you'd meet me at the station gate, but I got a different version. Train number 1 back. Train number 2 back. Train number 3 going back. How long must I wait for you?
Arrow shirts. We've loosened our collar.
Building a safer automobile, Cadillac style.
At Cadillac, we offer you more than world-class luxury, because beneath our elegant lines,
You'll find a rugged safety cage designed to protect you and your family.
under our distinctive grills,
Our new, more powerful V8 engines that let you pass with confidence.
and behind our classic wheels,
Sophisticated anti-lock brakes are available.
proving that a beautiful automobile can also be a safer one.
Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style.
Big story, Herb.
What, they finally found a substitute for the sweet roll. Hey,
Nutrigrains, almond raisin.
what is this, nuts and twigs?
Try almonds, raisins, and these great flakes made with brown rice.
But there's no sugar added. Herb, you're gonna love the taste, even though it's healthy. Hey, don't you have a story to write? How's this? Man eats healthy food and lives.
The amazing taste of Nutrigrains almond raisin.
It's news.
Remember when everything you got for Christmas was made by elves and came from Santa's workshop? Well, ho, ho, ho. It's not like that anymore.
Every year, I make a list of things I don't want for Christmas. One of my favorite stores for things I don't want is Hammaker Schlemmer. They have places in Beverly Hills, Chicago, and New York. We went over there to start making a list.
Now, what is that?
This is kitty fishing. This is your very new cat toy. And it's fun for the owner of the pet as well as the pet.
I don't think I'll have one of those if it's okay.
It works battery or solar. So if you're in the sun, it attracts the solar panels. We'll turn the fan on automatically. If you're indoors and you want to put it on, turn it on.
How do you turn it on? Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Here, turn it on.
It's on.
Oh, is it?
Can you see the fan?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you should try one.
Ooh.
And it won't cut you.
Here, let me try. Here, turn mine on.
Turn yours on. This is dog posture dishes to keep posture, so that your dog can stand up and eat at the same time. Because most dogs have to lie on the floor because their bowl is on the floor. This keeps their body higher.
You don't have a knife or fork or anything. And instead of ringing, it
This
quacks?
is how it rings. It's for you.
Now, who has a terrible idea like that?
We sell a lot of them.
Do you?
People love them.
Is that right?
Yeah, they think it's a nifty gift item. Detecting you.
And if a burglar comes in and walks in front of that, it starts barking?
Starts to bark. There you go.
And it keeps going until you get home? Oh, man. I went into another store called the Sharper Image. Have you ever sold one?
Yes, we've sold many.
Do you have another one? If I wanted two?
We could get two very easily, certainly.
You can't make your list of things you don't want for Christmas too early. If you don't let people know, they'll have bought it for you, and you'll have to take it back, put it out in the garage, throw it away, or just smile sweetly and say, just what I always wanted.
Back in a moment with the mail.
Deja vu.
You just bought that.
Somebody stole it.
I set down the package to help Megan, and when I turned around, it was gone.
Is it gone, Daddy?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Didn't you use American Express?
You mean that's it? It's automatic?
Whatever you buy with the American Express card is covered, Mr. Wilcox. Even gifts.
Oh, we were counting on that.
Lost, stolen, or damaged, having a way to protect the things you buy.
If you can imagine a vehicle that looks like this, can handle like this, and provide room like this. You either have an excellent imagination or you have a Ford Taurus wagon.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Ford Taurus.
Will a high school hacker hold Murphy hostage, or will she be his date at the prom?
It's not like you'd be the tallest girl there. What am I doing?
Murphy Brown, Monday. On Newhart, big bad mamas behind bars.
I slapped a security guard just to watch him go out.
Does there seem to be a theme here?
Then he's sophisticated, debonair, and very eligible.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Doctor follows Newhart Monday.
Last week, we ran out of time before we could get around to the mail. So this week, we're catching up. About our story on the Intifada, the Palestinian uprising in the Middle East, we got a slew of mail. And as usual, both sides came down on us. One viewer wrote, "Once again, you have shown how partial you are to Israel." While another viewer said, "You have joined the Israel bashers." Followed by, "Your pro-Israel attitude is so apparent." Followed this time by, "Why do they allow enemies like you into Israel to promote Arab propaganda?" Finally, Andy Rooney's piece a week or so ago on romantic novels brought this from romantic novelist Rebecca Brandywine. Care to give an expert in the romance genre, namely me, equal time to respond to the villainous Rooney? Okay, Ms. Brandywine, fire away. Rooney is unfortunately a clear-cut example of the sub-male species. Would Rooney have attacked the male-dominated bastions of science fiction and westerns in this crushing manner? Of course not. Don't be too sure. I'm Harry Reasoner. We'll be back next week with another edition of 60 Minutes.
I'm just an old-fashioned girl with an old-fashioned mind. Not sophisticated, I'm the sweet and simple kind.
A Tea Party against property taxes. The story at 10.
And an old-fashioned little young man.
Later tonight, it could happen to anyone. A series of circumstances brings a young family into the ranks of the homeless. Jeff Daniels and Christine Lottie star in No Place Like Home, the compelling CBS Sunday movie. But first, Jessica's in a baffling case of cover-ups, politics, and murder, she wrote. Next.
That little rejected urchin, the cotton picker in the South. That's why it's so funny. Because I can get all dressed up with the eyelashes and the nails and the whole thing and go out and be this wonderful, what I think is that.
For a printed transcript of this or any edition of 60 Minutes, send $4 to 60 Minutes Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 10007.